So the Las Vegas Aces just got the steal of the draft. Of course they did. Of course the best team in the WNBA goes and gets the steal of the draft. But you also have to take into account, maybe she's the steal of the draft because she's playing with the best players for probably the best coach in the league. And obviously that player is Kate Martin. Before we get on to the main part of the video, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. A huge thank you guys for 4,000 subscribers. Hitting that is crazy, and we are honestly not that far off 5K, which has been an unbelievable goal considering how new this channel is. Anyway, now let's get on to the video. So Kate Martin was probably Caitlin Clark's number 2, or honestly number 3. You could argue Kate Martin was Caitlin Clark's number 3 last year at Iowa, because Hannah Stuelke was better. And the year before, like, Monica Sanana was better. So it's not like she was ever this standout player, but she was a senior. And she had to play, I think she played, was it her 6th year or 5th year? And had to be convinced to come back. She had to be convinced by Caitlin Clark to come back and play for Iowa for another year instead of just packing it in. And my God, that was a smart decision, because she went and got drafted and has been a really, really good WNBA player. They call her Kate Money Martin for a reason. She's averaging 10.5 points a game through her last 2 games. Efficiently, and plays defense. You know what? You know who that she'd be perfect for? The Fever. Except obviously, with Christy's side, she'd be sitting on the end of the bench. Like, all we heard through all preseason, like, people were thought she wasn't going to make the roster. Honestly, it was kind of 50-50 whether she did, because look how good the Aces are. She's a 2nd round pick, and how few spots there are in the league. Like, there's no guarantee anyone makes a roster in the WNBA. But Kate Martin did, and like, as soon as she came out, like, as soon as she started getting into play, being able to play, like, she became their 6th woman. And she might go and win 6th woman of the year. They called her the glue at Iowa. They're calling her Kate Money Martin now. And like, if you listen to the way the teammates talk about her, it's all like, it's not even about the 3-point shooting. It's not about anything. It's like talking about how quickly she picks up on everything, how just smart a player she was. And like, that is a testament as well to Becky Hammon. It's a testament to Becky Hammon, who is, look, I'm going to be honest. Becky Hammon, if it wasn't for the fact that I don't think the NBA is ready yet to hire a female coach, could and probably should be an NBA coach. Or she should have at least gotten an opportunity to be an NBA coach. Like, Becky Hammon was with the Spurs for so long, was one of the more respected assistant coaches in the entire league, especially by her players. Becky Hammon could have very easily been an NBA coach. And as far as just X's and O's and knowledge of the game, yeah, without question, good enough. But still, obviously, it shouldn't be the case. But there are a lot of NBA players that may not want to play for a female NBA coach. And like, if you are an organization, you have to take that into account. Is it wrong? Yes. But unfortunately, life's not fair sometimes. And you know what? At least she got the Aces job, and she's getting paid a hell of a lot of money to do it. And yeah, they're going to probably win a 3rd straight championship. Like, they're doing this without Chelsea Gray. And then, like, what Kate Martin's done is crazy. But it also does show that in a league where maybe it's like, where there's so few spots, there's only a couple of rounds of the draft, obviously, and you're just kind of, it's a bit of a crapshoot. You've got, sometimes taking a glue guy helps, especially if that's what you need. And if you're looking at how well rookies are playing, I think you can honestly argue that Kate Martin has had a better rookie season than like a Rickea Jackson or an Alia Edwards. You can make that argument. Don't think it's right. Don't think she has the upside. She could be very close to her ceiling right now, but there's a lot to be said for glue guys. Just in basketball in general, there is an awful lot to be said for glue guys. And it shows that a lot of people talking about, oh, like, Caitlin Clark took the shine away from these players. In reality, look, Kate Martin's not drafted if she's not on the national stage playing with Iowa. And that these players that played around Caitlin Clark are all elite role players. Like, I'm going to make a video a little bit later about how genuinely I think the Fever should just, there's such bad injury problems right now, they should just sign Cesano short term. Or Cesano short term. But like it really is. Obviously the draft is a complete crapshoot. It is in every single sport. But I love to see it when a player who maybe is not the most all-around talented, maybe is not the best shot creator, isn't going to score 20 points a game, and wasn't this like unbelievably highly ranked recruit coming out of high school, just is smart, knows their role, hits open jump shots, plays defense to the best of their ability, and doesn't get in the way of the superstars and stars around them. And like those players are so important in both men's and women's basketball. They're more important than anyone realizes. The players that just allow a team to function, and bench players that you were able to put in the game, especially with how short the rotations are for the aces. Players that you can put in the game for minutes with the starting lineup, because it's not like the NBA where teams will go with a full 5 bench lineup, just the way the rotations are. Players you can put in the game in the starting lineup or with the starting lineup and they don't lose anything. So that you can take Kelsey Plum off for a few minutes. You can take Young off for a few minutes and you can put Kate Martin in. They don't lose anything. As a team, they don't lose anything. And there's so much to be said for that in just basketball in general. That's what so many people don't look at when they look at players. Like a player, people will look at, say, college players, or they'll look at X, Y, and Z, players coming off the bench in the NBA, and are like, why does player X play more than player Y when player X comes on and scores 10 points? Player Y comes on and scores 2. Because it's like, well, if you put player X on the floor and they start chucking, the rest of the team plays worse with them, and maybe they don't play defense, and maybe they make dumb decisions or switch off in rotations and cause the team to suffer. Whereas player Y might only score 2 points, but he might not take dumb shots. He might get an assist, might get a couple of hockey assists, might play good individual or good team defense, doesn't miss rotations, knows how to run the sets, doesn't get in other people's way. And there's a lot to be said for those type of players, just in basketball in general. And that's why I'm happy that kind of, obviously, when people are looking at WNBA, Kate Martin is a big name because obviously she played with Caitlin Clark. I'm not naive to that. No one would know or care who she is if it wasn't for that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. As I always say, it doesn't really matter how someone gets their foot in the door or what their initial reason for being known is. If they're able to get into the position they are and succeed, it really doesn't matter. So anyway, that is the video. The steal of the draft and the aces are, the rich just keep getting richer. The rich just keep getting richer. And I mean, Kate Martin might go and get a ring and the aces might go and three-peat. The rich just keep getting richer, lads. And it's not going to be fun for any teams trying to come up and beat the Las Vegas Aces this year.